Nice opinion. Just one tiny problem with it. Inspecting your post, it looks like your opinion is different from mine. Let me tell you something. I am the baseline for opinions. Any opinion I hold is objectively correct, and as a result, any other opinions are wrong. Guess what? You happen to hold a wrong one. I hope you know that your opinion is now illegal. I have contacted the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Navy SEALs, Secret Service, and your mom. You'll be sorry you ever shared your opinions. By the time you're reading this, you'll be done for. Nature will punish you. Humanity will punish you. Supernatural beings will punish you. Space will punish you. We decided just to make sure we'll nuke your house from orbit, so there's no chance you can run away. Everyone will know you will die. It's a small price to pay to remove your wrong opinion from this world.
Okay, Richardson, the holidays are done.
We thought so too, but then Verizon just gave us their best deal.
4 new iPhones.
I'm burning high.
난취해. 너는?
앞으로 더 잘 달리라는 의미에서 주신 만큼 좋은 모습 보여드리도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
They all took different paths.
둘, 셋. 아이소미. 하나의 순간 모두 함께. 안녕하세요, 아이소입니다.
But there was a time when they bloomed together. In 2018, something unfamiliar quietly entered K-pop. Produce 101, a series already known for temporary groups and short-lived runs, crossed a line it had never crossed before by joining forces with AKB48. Korea and Japan. Two systems, two cultures, brought into the same room. On paper, it sounded straightforward. In reality, it felt uncertain from the start. Produce 48 gathered 96 girls and asked them to share one stage. Some arrived with years already behind them. Sakura came with experience, recognition, and expectations shaped by HKT48. Nako came from that same system, carrying her own experience alongside her. Hitomi represented AKB48 itself. These were idols who already had careers, fan bases, and reputations, now stepping into a competition that could quietly pause everything they had built. The Korean side came with different stories. Eunbi returned after previously debuting in a group that never found stability. Haewon stood close to debut more than once, only to see those chances disappear. Many others walked in with nothing but training rooms, unfinished dreams, and the hope that this time might finally be different. From June to August, the show moved forward week by week. Performances, evaluations, and long nights in practice rooms filled the days. Cameras captured the awkward moments just as clearly as the confident ones. Language barriers showed up during practice. Korean trainees struggled with Japanese lyrics. Japanese idols adjusted to Korean choreography styles. Eliminations came one by one, each goodbye heavier than the last. Somewhere along the way, competition softened. The 96 girls stopped feeling like strangers. It did not feel like unity yet, but it felt closer than before. August 31 arrived with the live finale. Names appeared on the screen, each one finalizing who would debut. Wanyang ranked first, the youngest among them, already recognized as the show's standout center. Sakura followed, carrying years of history with her. Yuri's voice earned its place. Yena's presence filled the room. Yujin completed the top 5 with a balance that felt natural. The rest followed quickly: Nako, Eunbi, Haewon, Hitomi, Chaewon, Minju, and Chaeyeon. The group name was revealed shortly after: IZ*ONE. The I's represented the number 12 through a visual play on Roman numerals. The 1 stood for unity. The asterisk between them referenced the 12 zodiac signs, suggesting these 12 girls were meant to move forward together. Fans got their name next: WIZ*ONE, combining "We Are One" with the idea of creating something special alongside them. But there was no time to sit with it. Debut preparations began immediately. Recording sessions, choreography, filming, and constant travel followed. Exhaustion showed up early. Chaewon somehow balanced all of it while preparing for Korean college entrance exams. Sakura, Nako, and Hitomi officially took hiatuses from their Japanese groups to focus on this new chapter. 2 months. That was all they had. Different systems, different habits, different expectations. Many watched from the outside, unsure if this could ever come together. At the time, nobody knew what would happen next. The 29th of October 2018 marked the official beginning. IZ*ONE held their debut showcase at Olympic Hall in Seoul. Thousands of seats sold out in a single minute. Fans who could not get in gathered online instead, watching through live streams as the 12 members stepped onto the stage. This time, not as contestants, but as a group.
However you book, first check
You
kayak to compare prices
gosh
from
dang
hundreds of
it.
travel sites on the hotel you want. Then do what people do.
Their first mini album, Colorize, arrived in 2 versions, Rose and Color. The track list felt familiar at first, with produced 48 songs reworked for their new start. But attention quickly shifted to the new B-sides, led by the title track that would set the tone for their debut, La Vie en Rose, meaning
Oh,
Life in Pink. Originally written for another group, the song found its home with IZ*ONE right before debut. It opened softly, then grew with confidence. Roses filled the screen. The choreography moved as one. The styling felt clean. The vocals sounded steady. Nothing about it felt rushed, even though everything behind the scenes had been. People noticed immediately. Within a day, the music video passed 4 million views. A few days later, it crossed 10 million. The song spread quickly, not just among fans who followed the show, but among listeners who had never watched a single episode. The response showed in numbers too. Albums sold faster than anyone expected. Records fell within days. Charts said the same thing. Korea paid attention, Japan paid attention, so did the rest of the world. On November 1, IZ*ONE stood on the M Countdown stage for the first time. A week later, they held their first trophy. Just 10 days after debut, the fastest first win for a girl group at the time. It happened so fast that many struggled to explain it. Some pointed to the show, some pointed to existing fan bases, but others kept it simple. The song worked, the performance worked, and the 12 members looked comfortable together in a way that did not feel forced. La Vie en Rose became more than a debut. It opened the door to what IZ*ONE called their flower trilogy. Color Eyes, Heart Eyes, Bloom Eyes, each release tied to a stage of blooming, of growth. The rose stood for passion, love, and beginnings. And just like that, IZ*ONE had started to bloom. January 2019 took IZ*ONE to Japan. Their first Japanese showcase filled Tokyo Dome City Hall. fans showed up fast. 5 days later came and within a week, millions had already found it. By early February, Eyes One officially debuted in Japan. The response felt immediate. Sales climbed quickly. Charts followed. The single stayed near the top, and platinum certifications came soon after. Japanese fans did not just show interest, they stayed. It helped that 3 members came from familiar ground. Sakura, Nako, and Hitomi opened the door. But once inside, all 12 walked forward together. Promotions filled television studios and radio booths. The group adjusted naturally, moving between languages, stages, and expectations. In March, something unexpected happened. A new version of Jonas Blues' Rise dropped with Eyes One members featured on the track. It was a small moment on paper, but it hinted at how quickly their world was expanding. Then April arrived. Hard Eyes marked their first Korean comeback. Even before release, anticipation felt heavier than before. When the album finally landed, it carried a brighter tone, softer colors, lighter emotions, familiar warmth. Stood at the center. Inspired by a fairy tale, the song spoke gently, offering encouragement. It felt like a message meant to be passed along, something shared quietly. The response confirmed what fans already felt. The comeback held its ground. Wins followed. Records moved again. What started as a strong debut now felt steady. By then, the shift was clear. Eyes One no longer felt like a new group still settling in. They felt present, established, comfortable on stage. Their first concert tour came soon after. Eyes on Me gave fans time to sit with Eyes One, to hear the songs fully, and to share the moment together under the same roof. Japan called again in the summer. Buenos Aires arrived first, followed by Vampire in the fall. Each release showed a new side. Brighter moments gave way to darker tones. The group moved easily between moods, never staying in one place for too long. By the end of the year, Eyes One's presence in Japan felt solid. Sales stacked up. Stages grew larger. Schedules overlapped. Members flew back and forth constantly, carrying the same energy across borders. The pace was heavy. Most groups took years to reach this point. Eyes One reached it in months. And beneath everything, the clock kept moving. Time stayed limited. Every release mattered. Every stage felt important. And they knew it, because their time together was never meant to last forever.
Nothing ever is. No!
Sometimes it takes a different approach.
No, Ad,
See the
no.
possibilities all around you.
Oh, yeah, can skip
November
it.
2019 brought the nightmare nobody saw coming.
Oh, no, not
News
this
broke
thing.
that the voting process behind Produce 48 had been manipulated. The results that shaped Eyes One were no longer trusted. What fans believed they had chosen turned out to be decided elsewhere. Everything changed overnight. Eyes One's scheduled comeback stopped immediately. Activities paused, appearances disappeared, promotions in both Korea and Japan went silent. The group that had spent all of 2019 moving forward suddenly stood still. None of it came from the members. The 12 had trained, competed, and stood on stage without knowing what had happened behind the scenes. Still, they were the ones left waiting, unable to speak, unable to perform, watching everything they built get questioned. Fans responded first. Messages of support filled everywhere. One line kept repeating, "The members did nothing wrong." But public opinion did not move as easily. Some questioned whether the group should continue at all. Others pushed back, asking why the punishment landed on the ones with no power. The conversation goes on while the members remain silent. Weeks passed, then months. Winter came with no answers. Occasional messages appeared from the members, careful and brief. Nothing more could be said. In January 2020, confirmation finally arrived. IZ*ONE would return. 3 months were gone. Time they could never get back. Momentum slowed. Joy became complicated. Every mention of the group now came with whispers they never asked for. Yet, they continued. But something felt heavy. Their time together was already limited. After the pause, it felt even shorter. The 17th of February 2020 finally arrived. IZ*ONE returned after months of waiting. The album title alone said everything. Bloom Eyes. After everything that had stalled them, questioned them, and silenced them, this comeback let them bloom again. The project was larger than anything they had done before. Every track felt carefully chosen, as if they knew this moment could not be wasted. The album opened quietly, setting the mood. Then came...
Ah, this one.
Bright, loud, and alive. Fiesta did not sound careful. It sounded confident. The energy burst forward, colorful and full of energy. Watching it felt different. Not like a debut, not like a comeback, more like release. After months of being spoken about instead of heard, the 12 finally stood in front again as IZ*ONE. People responded immediately. The song climbed fast, charts moved, sales followed. The numbers mattered, but what mattered more was what they represented. IZ*ONE were still here, stronger than many expected. Their first win for Fiesta came soon after. On stage, Yoonbi cried. The others followed. It was not just happiness. It was everything they had held in since November finally letting go. For a moment, they could celebrate without hesitation. That moment did not last long.
Unfortunately not.
COVID-19 spread quickly. Promotion shortened. Audiences disappeared. Stages emptied. IZ*ONE performed to cameras instead of fans. Concert plans canceled. Once again, everything stopped and took time from them. Still, Bloom Eyes closed the chapter it began years earlier. La Vie en Rose marked the beginning. Violetta offered encouragement. Fiesta showed the full bloom. Through scandal, through silence, through a world that kept interrupting them, IZ*ONE stood on stage again. And they bloomed anyway. March 2020 brought another change behind the scenes. A second company stepped in to help manage IZ*ONE, and the group kept moving forward. By early summer, news of another comeback surfaced. In June, the title appeared, Oneric Diary. A word tied to dreams, something soft, something unreal. The album arrived on June 15. This time, the sound leaned inward, lighter, more delicate. Secret Story of the Swan sat at the center, telling a story about becoming the version of yourself you once imagined. It felt fitting. After everything that had interrupted them, the song sounded like quiet confidence rather than celebration. Fans responded quickly. The music spread, charts followed, sales climbed again. IZ*ONE kept proving that momentum did not disappear just because the world slowed down. But stages were different now. Live audiences were gone. Tours remained canceled. The spaces where fans once gathered stayed empty. So in September, IZ*ONE tried something new. Oneric Theater became their first online concert. Screens replaced seats, time zones blended together. Fans watched from bedrooms, living rooms, and quiet corners of their homes. It was not the same as standing in a crowd, but it was still shared. Between songs, the members spoke directly to the camera. Simple words, small smiles, familiar warmth. For a few hours, distance felt smaller. The format was unfamiliar, but the connection was not. Even apart, IZ*ONE and WIZ*ONE were still meeting each other through the music. The 21st of October 2020 arrived with another first. IZ*ONE released their first full Japanese album. The title was simple, 12. One album, 12 members gathered in one place. The lead single appeared earlier in the month, setting the tone before everything came together. The album felt complete. Familiar songs sat alongside new ones as Korean releases found new life in Japanese, and everything that IZ*ONE had built in Japan finally lived in one project. For fans, it felt like holding their journey in their hands.
You mastered your mind.
But we kind of know what's gonna happen afterwards.
You were on the train home.
But it.
Audible. There's more to imagine
let's-
when you listen.
I want. Is Ted Phillips up to date on his training? Ted, a little behind.
The response was strong. Charts moved quickly, sales followed. Even without promotions, the album found its way to the top. No stages, no fan events, no tours, just the music, carried by fans who had stayed with them through everything. It said a lot. Around the same time, another truth became harder to ignore.
Oh boy.
Time was running out. IZ*ONE's contract had an end date. April 2021. 6 months left. Everyone knew it. Every release now came with a quiet weight attached. New music still brought joy, but it was kind of felt heavy. Fans listened more carefully. Moments felt smaller and more precious. Happiness mixed with hesitation, as if no one wanted to acknowledge what was waiting ahead. But it was there, no matter how gently it was avoided. And the 7th of December 2020 gave us what would become IZ*ONE's final Korean release. The title said more than it needed to. One Reeler, Act 4. A one-reeler meant a short film running 10 to 12 minutes on a single reel, brief but complete. This album framed itself the same way. A single chapter. A story told from beginning to end. The concept was revealed in scenes. Youth, the time they shared. Becoming one, the bond they built. Standing together, all 12, at their strongest. It felt intentional, like a quiet reflection rather than a grand moment. The album opened softly, then led into Panorama. Before the release, IZ*ONE performed the song for the first time on Mama Awards. It felt unexpected, a preview that stayed longer than usual. The next day, the album arrived alongside a special broadcast, giving fans time to sit with it all at once. Panorama sounded different, gentle, emotional, yet powerful. The song asked listeners to remember, to hold on to bright moments before they slipped away. The message was clear without being spoken. This was IZ*ONE asking not to be forgotten. Fans responded. The album rose quickly, sales followed, wins came. But numbers felt secondary now. Attention shifted to smaller things. The way members stayed close on stage, hands that held a little longer, glances that lasted just long enough to be noticed. Promotions continued into the new year, but April stayed in the background. Every performance carried it. Every encore felt heavier. With each passing week, the meaning of Panorama deepened. A wide frame, a full picture, a way to capture everything before it became memory. No one said goodbye yet, but everyone felt it coming. The 11th of February 2021 brought the announcement everyone feared. IZ*ONE would hold a final concert before their contract ended in April. It was titled One the Story. 2 days.
The worst.
March 13 and 14. Online only, with fans around the world watching from wherever they were. At first, there was hope. Maybe this was not really the end. Maybe talks were still happening behind the scenes. Maybe the concert would lead into something else. But March 10 erased that hope. 3 days before the concert, confirmation arrived. IZ*ONE would disband in April. No extension, no continuation. The concert was the real goodbye. Fans who bought tickets thinking they were witnessing a turning point now knew they were watching the end. The timing hurt. The pandemic had already taken away in-person farewells. Now there would be no final tour, no crowd, no voices singing back to them, just screens. March 13 and 14 arrived anyway. One, the story walked through everything, from debut to the present, title tracks, B-sides, unit stages, moments meant to remember. It felt complete, almost too complete. The performances were strong, confident, steady. 2.5 years of work showed in every movement. Even through a screen, it was clear how far they had come. Then the talking began. That was when everything broke. Members spoke one by one. Tears came fast and did not stop. Chaewon struggled to breathe through her words. Nako cried openly. Yujin could not stay steady. Yoonbi tried to hold everyone together, even as her voice shook. Minju's words hit the hardest.
원래 저는 혼자가 늘 익숙하고 챙김받는 게 서툴고 그랬었는데요. 이제는 혼자가 된 저를 상상하는 게 잘 안 될 정도로.
The youngest talked about missing her unis. No one tried to hide anything. At the end, the members stood together one last time.
Your perfect
Dang.
pain is out there.
What?
Go to Wix and make it yours.
Dang it, you ads.
네. 미션 진심으로 감사드립니다. 지금까지 아이돌이었습니다. 감사합니다. 울지 마.
And the story came to an end.
너무너무 고마워요, 이즈원. 영원히 잊지 않을게요. 감사합니다.
But fans refused to accept it. The Parallel Universe project began almost immediately. WizOnes around the world came together and raised nearly $1 million to fund contract extension negotiations. The goal was simple: keep IZ*ONE together. Create a version of reality where this goodbye did not happen. For a moment, it felt possible. Talks were confirmed. Maybe the money would work. Maybe the agencies would cooperate. Maybe magic could happen twice. Then it ended again.
Unfortunately, it's not that
Negotiations
easy.
failed. The reunion was canceled. Whatever happened behind closed doors did not matter anymore. The results stayed the same. IZ*ONE would not continue. The 29th of April, 2021 passed. 2 years and 6 months together. 12 members returned to their agencies. The project that survived scandal and a global shutdown reached its limit. Not because of failure, because time simply ran out. 5 years have passed since the story ended. 5 years since the last stage, the last messages, the last time all 12 stood together. And yet, it still hurts. Not because of numbers, not because of records, but because of what IZ*ONE gave during their short time together. They were comfort when things felt heavy. They kept going through scandal, through silence, through a world that kept interrupting them. Their music felt personal, like pages written in real time. Each comeback marked a moment we lived through with them. 30 months made everything matter more. Every stage, every song, every smile. We held on tighter because we knew time was limited. The goodbye never felt complete. No final tour, no last crowd, just screens, tears, and silence. That unfinished ending is why the memories never faded. They asked us to remember, to take a panorama,
Hey, same
to
as
hold
G
on to
Friend.
those moments forever. We did, we are, and we will. Because Wiz won forever. Eyes won forever. We are one.
Interesting thing about this is that they disbanded the same year as G Friend in a similar situation, except G Friend actually didn't disband. They were contract terminated without any warning at all. At all. So, all right, we're going to actually watch the let me copy the link. Okay, we're gonna watch A-Pink, then we're gonna watch this one. All right.
Autodesk Flow Studio, AI-powered mocap that puts incredible VFX within everyone's reach. Editable, directable, controllable, making your story unstoppable.
A-Pink. When everyone called them outdated, through member departures, through company changes, overshadowed by bigger names, 15 years later, still one of the few second-generation groups standing. The year 2011 opened with K-pop led by three names, SM, YG, and JYP. Girls' Generation
Big three.
dominated with large-scale concepts. 2NE1 pushed hip-hop forward. Wonder Girls had already crossed into global charts. Miss A arrived with confidence and instant impact. The industry followed a clear rule. Long-term survival came from Big Three backing. A-Cube Entertainment chose a different route. The company, operating independently under Cube Entertainment, prepared a girl group without a
It's
safety net.
Cube.
Not part of the Big Three. Not the main focus of their parent label. Just a small team betting on consistency in a market known for quick turnover. Their introduction began with a pre-debut reality show, A-Pink News, hosted by artists from Beast, 4 Minute, and G-Na. 7 trainees appeared in Beast music videos and online teasers, slowly building recognition. One member, Yoonji, gained attention after a vocal cover of a Jennifer Hudson song spread online. Interest grew, but attention alone carried no guarantees. The 19th of April 2011 marked their official debut. 7 members stepped onto the stage. Chorong is leader, alongside Bomi, Yoonji, Na Yoon, Yukyoung, Namju, and Hyung. Their first EP, 7 Springs of A-Pink, introduced I Don't Know as the title track. But the concept choice drew immediate reactions. Innocent, sweet, cheerful. By 2011, the industry leaned towards stronger images. Groups like 2NE1 and 4 Minute set the tone for bold and confident styles. Innocent concepts were often viewed as something the industry had already moved past. Many questioned whether this direction could survive in a competitive market. The debut stage on M Countdown came 2 days later. There was no immediate jump in attention, no viral moment. Just 7 rookies adjusting to a crowded industry.
Dear boy, I fell in love on a snowy day.
On the 22nd of November 2011, the group returned with their second EP, Snow Pink. The title track, produced by hitmaker Shin Sa-dong Tiger,
And I did
climbing chart
also I did react to a recent song of theirs, so they're still going, obviously.
at a steady pace. Progress came gradually, week by week. The 5th of January 2012 became a turning point. A-Pink earned their first music show win on M Countdown. A group outside the Big Three had entered direct competition. Later that year, they received Female Rookie of the Year at the Mama Awards, followed by 3 more
The
Rookie
stop
Awards
sign.
later on. Alongside promotions, the members organized charity activities, opening a tea cafe and auctioning personal items for donation. Small company, big heart, growing fan base. The 9th of May 2012 brought their first full album, Unane, celebrating 1 year since debut. Led the album as the title track. Leader Choron contributed lyrics to the anniversary song April 19. Fans selected Boo Bee Boo as a follow-up release, showing how closely the group and fans were moving together. A 3rd season of A-Pink News followed, this time with members taking roles as writers and directors. The Cube family supported them. Collaborations with Beast, B2B, and 4 Minute kept them visible. They recorded Skinny Baby for the Schoolooks campaign alongside Beast, and participation in United Cube projects gave them wider exposure. Even so, Cube's main focus stayed elsewhere. Beast and 4 Minute remained the priority. A-Pink continued as the group expected to prove its value with every release. The 23rd of April 2013 brought their first major loss. Yookyoung left the group to focus on her education, and the lineup dropped from 7 to 6. Rumors followed almost immediately. In K-pop, a missing member often meant a replacement, and talk of a new 7th member began circulating among fans. A-Cube shut that idea down quickly. No additions, no reshuffle. A-Pink continued as 6, knowing the next comeback would decide whether the group could hold its ground. The 5th of July 2013 brought their 3rd EP, Secret Garden, reached number 2 on the Billboard K-pop
Oh, Secret
Hot
Garden
100.
is
Album sales
great.
passed 70,000 copies, a rare result for a group outside the big 3 at the time. Secret Garden ranked among the best-selling girl group albums of 2013. At the Mama Awards, A-Pink received the Next Generation Global Star Award. The innocent concept everyone called dead had just dominated the summer charts. The 31st of March 2014 brought from A-Pink's 4th EP, Pink Blossom. The song reached number 2 on the Billboard K-pop Hot 100 and became one of Korea's top digital tracks of the year. 6 music show wins followed.
Oh, I'll have another. Make it a
You.
double.
Who are you talking to?
Vincent, my server. He's from San Diego.
Album sales passed 77,000 copies, a massive number for the time. Their official fan club, Pink Panda, crossed 100,000 members. That summer, A-Pink made their Japanese debut, marking their first step beyond Korea. Then came the 24th of November 2014. Love arrived as the title track from their 5th EP, Pink Love. The song swept every music show in sight. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 17 music show wins total. The count remains the highest for a girl group. Only Psy, BTS, and EXO have gone beyond it. No other girl group has matched it in the 11 years since. Love topped both weekly and monthly digital charts on Korean chart. A-Pink became the first girl group in 2014 to win all 3 major music shows for 2 weeks in a row. Triple crowns followed. December ended with a full sweep. Digital sales reached around 1.5 million copies. Shin Sa-dong Tiger's production had created a phenomenon. The Korean chart later ranked A-Pink as the 3rd best-selling girl group of 2014. January 2015 added another record. A-Pink became the first group to win 5 consecutive awards on Music Core. At the Golden Disc Awards, they received the Digital Bonsong and Best Female Performance. The Seoul Music Awards followed with another Bonsong. Their first concert, Pink Paradise, sold 7,200 tickets in just 2 minutes. The 16th of July 2015 marked the release of A-Pink's 2nd full album, Pink Memory. The title track, Remember, achieved a real-time all-kills shortly after release, topping major charts across Korea and reaching number 2 on the Korean digital chart. The sound leaned more mature while staying familiar, changing naturally over time. By the end of 2015, A-Pink finished the year as the second best-selling girl group in Korea. A group without Big Three backing had gone head-to-head with the industry's biggest names and held their ground. The innocent sound many believe the industry had moved past became the most dominant girl group style of that era. In January 2016, the group expanded into North America, performing in Vancouver, Dallas, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Their presence in Japan continued to grow. Pink Season arrived on the 26th of August 2015 as their first Japanese album. Pink Doll followed on the 21st of December 2016. Pink Stories was released on the 27th of December 2017. Each release added to their reach, built without the support systems typically available to Big Three groups. April 2018 marked 7 years since debut. By this point, many well-known girl groups had already reached their endpoint. Even other legendary girl groups like Sistar, 4 Minute, and 2NE1 had all disbanded. Contract renewals often led to separation, regardless of success. The 7-year curse remained a difficult line for groups across the industry. But A-Pink crossed it. On the 19th of April 2018, they released Miracle as a 7th anniversary single. For a non-Big Three group, passing this point carried weight. It showed stability built over time, not granted at debut. The song served as a message to Pink Panda that the group planned to continue with a new beginning. The 2nd of July 2018 marked the biggest risk of their career.
I'm so sick of lying. You gotta know that.
Their 7th EP 1 and 6 introduced produced by Black Eyed Pilsung. 7 years of innocent concepts ended in just 3 minutes and 30 seconds. The sound turned mature, bold, dramatic. Styling switched from pastels to black and red. Choreography focused on control and strength rather than brightness. The risk was real. Concept changes often stalled groups at this stage. Some struggled to settle into a new image. Others lost momentum soon after. There was little room to get it wrong. I'm So Sick reached number 3 on the Korean digital chart. 5 music show wins followed. Music Bank gave A-Pink their first win in 3 years. Some longtime fans stepped away, uncomfortable with the change. At the same time, new listeners found the group through this sound. A-Pink had just proven concept changes can strengthen rather than destroy. The shift held. The 7th of January 2019 brought continuing in the same direction. On the 13th of April 2020,
unlike other value meals, Arby's new $7.99 meat and 3 box has 3 sides, not just one. It's more meal.
came
Oh,
reached number 2
this
on the
one.
Korean chart, and later hit number 1 on Melon, their first chart topper there in 5 years. The results went further. Dum Durham won across all 8 major television music shows. A-Pink became the first girl group in their 10th year to complete a Grand Slam. Billboard ranked the track 2nd among
Oh,
the top
Golden
K-pop songs of
Stage? I
2020.
mean, Golden Road.
Across 3 releases, Black Eyed Pilsung helped reshape how the group moved forward. Instead of slowing down after a concept change, A-Pink extended their reach. The transition added longevity rather than closing a chapter. The 19th of April 2021 marked 10 years since debut. The digital single Thank You arrived to mark the milestone. In an industry where many groups fade within a few years, reaching a decade already a big victory. But 10 days later, uncertainty followed. On the 29th of April 2021, Na Yoon left Play M Entertainment and signed with YG Entertainment to focus on acting. The remaining 5 members renewed their contracts with IST Entertainment. Questions came quickly. Could A-Pink continue with changing priorities, or would the group quietly slow down? The 14th
Apparently
of
not.
February 2022 answered that question. A-Pink returned with their 4th full album, Horn, led by the title track Na-eun took part in the album but did not join music show promotions. On the 22nd of February 2022, the group earned a win on the show. A-Pink became the first girl group to win a music show in their 12th year. The result added another record to their career. Production by Black Eyed Pilsung once again carried their sound forward. On the 8th of April 2022, the lineup change became final. Na-eun officially left the group after deciding she could not balance acting and idol activities. 6 members became 5. Days later, A-Pink released the anniversary single, I Want You to Be Happy, on the 19th of April 2022, acknowledging the shift while continuing as a group. The 12th of July 2022 brought a different step forward. Chorong and Bomi formed the subunit Chobang, releasing Copycat. The project showed that even with fewer members, A-Pink could explore new ideas while maintaining the main group. The 5th of April 2023 showed that A-Pink was still moving forward. Their 10th EP, Self, was released with DND as the title track. All 5 members promoted together. At the time, nothing about the release suggested what was coming next. The 28th of April 2023 changed the conversation. 4 members left IST Entertainment on the same day. Chorong, Bomi, Namju, and Hyong signed with Choi Creative Lab. Only Yoonji renewed with IST. The reaction was immediate. When members split across agencies, group activity usually stops. A-Pink did not stop. Despite belonging to different companies, all 5 members continued group schedules together. On the 11th of December 2023,
They are built different.
released Pink Christmas, confirming that A-Pink remained active as a full group. And in the 19th of April 2024, they released their 13th anniversary single, Wait Me There. Late December of 2024 marked their return to the stage as a full group. A-Pink held their first complete group concert in 4 years at KBS Arena for the Pink Christmas event. The concerts confirmed that the group remained active beyond recordings. The 19th of April 2025 followed with released for their 14th anniversary. Around the same period, A-Pink embarked on the Pink New Year Asia Tour 2025, performing in Macau, Taiwan, Singapore, and Hong Kong. Their activities during this time were later documented through Mnet's reality show, I Member Remember. Then, July 2025 shifted things again. The 4 members previously under Choi Creative Lab moved to With Us Entertainment. Yoonji left IST and signed with Billions Entertainment. 5 members, different agencies, 1 group. This has never happened in K-pop history. But they still continued as A-Pink. Each member shared their intention to continue as A-Pink. No shared contracts linking them together. No single company directing the outcome. Just 5 members choosing to remain a group after more than 14 years.
I was helpless from his
I mean, they're surely different. Oh, gosh.
The 5th of January 2026 marked another return.
I did react to
A-Pink
that.
released their 11th EP, Re-Love, led by the title track. The release arrived as they approached their 15th year together. The sound reflected everything they had built over time. Mature, familiar, and still active in the present. A-Pink proved you don't need SM Entertainment. You don't need YG Entertainment. You don't need JYP Entertainment. A small company can raise a group that lasts longer than industry giants.
Also, you don't need hype at
Consistency
at
matters.
this point.
Member trust matters. Staying together by choice matters more than any contract. The 7-year barrier can be crossed. Concept changes do not have to end careers. Innocent Music can return, compete, and lead an era. Their records still stand. Love remains the most awarded girl group song in music show history. A-Pink became the first girl group to win a music show in their 12th year and the first 10-year girl group to complete a full music show sweep. Over 50 music show wins, hundreds of thousands of albums sold, achievements earned without shortcuts. Their influence runs even deeper. The innocent concept did not disappear. It returned through groups like G-Friend, Loveliz,
G-Friend,
Oh My Girl, and even early Twice. Those groups followed the path A-Pink paved.
I mean,
15
G-Friend
years active and
even
counting.
did it better.
Members across different agencies.
Okay, not
No
better.
shared contracts.
To the point they
No central
were
control.
called the Christian
Just
Horse
5
Group.
women choosing the
And also, A-Pink and G-Friend are the groups that have the most wins instead of any girl group, and that has yet to be dethroned to this day.
same name again and again. A-Pink never had a big 3 safety net. They built
Neither
everything
did G-Friend.
slowly,
Or
release
any of
by
those.
release, year by year. While others faded, they stayed. While expectations shifted, they adapted. Not because they were protected, because they endured. And 15 years later, they're still here. A-Pink dared to be bold. Will you?
Oh, yeah. Also, Bummy got married. So,
Which foundation is good for a steamy?
so that's that one. So we're gonna do the last one. Is gonna be the complete recap of
2025. The year opened with the Korean music industry holding its breath. BTS was still scattered across military bases, and Blackpink had officially fractured into 4 distinct solo paths under new labels. Meanwhile, New Jeans was locked in a very public war with their own company. For the first time in nearly a decade, album sales had actually dipped down nearly 20% to roughly 92 million copies. The big names in the business were either absent, fighting in court, or building independent empires.
question. Are you gonna talk about
outside the very
MADEIN?
system that made them famous.
Because that's kind
This
of
is the year
important. That was
K-pop went to war with itself, when Hollywood and finally demanded respect on the global stage. This is the year legends returned to reclaim their thrones, while rookies rewrote the playbook. This is the year contracts were tested in the Supreme Court. And a fictional Netflix film about K-pop somehow earned more Grammy nods than most real groups. Major shift that defined the last 12 months and the moments that changed the industry forever.
But hopefully you
January
did.
2025 began with an absence so loud it defined everything else. BTS had been gone for over a year. Jin and J-Hope had completed their service in 2024.
That's
but the
true.
remaining 5 members wouldn't return until June 2025. This BTS hiatus was felt in the pockets of every major label. Analysts pointed directly to their absence as the reason for the industry's first sales decline in years. K-pop had learned to survive without them, but it had never stopped waiting for them. While everyone looked toward June, the members of Blackpink were busy making a different kind of history. Having left YG Entertainment for solo work in 2024, they spent early 2025 proving they could thrive independently. On February 28, Lisa released her highly anticipated album Alter Ego, led by the trap-heavy F Up the World.
I mean, that's not for
The real
me.
battle, however, was happening in court. New Jeans' dispute with Ador and parent company Hybe had exploded into public view in late 2024.
Now,
The
is
group's
he going to
former
talk about
creative director,
MADEIN, which is
Min Hee-jin,
I've been
had
covering,
been ousted
is
from her CEO
important.
position after accusations of attempting to take New Jeans with her to start a rival label.
There's also
The
rumors that
members
she was
sided with
involved
her.
in G-Friend's
Hybe and Ador
cut.
accused them of breaching their contracts. By January 2025, the conflict had escalated to a full legal war. Member Honey had testified at South Korea's National Assembly about workplace bullying, the first time an active idol had taken a contract dispute to the government level. New Jeans had become the test case for idol rights in South Korea. Could idols terminate contracts if their working conditions were hostile? Did companies own the artists, or did artists own their careers? The courts would decide. The entire industry was watching, because if New Jeans won, the very power structure of K-pop would be dismantled. February also saw the King's return. G-Dragon, the legendary Big Bang leader who had been mostly quiet since 2020, released Übermensch, his first full album in over a decade. G-Dragon was a first-generation idol, someone who had debuted in 2006 when K-pop was still a regional phenomenon. But if G-Dragon represented the industry's roots, Hearts 2 Hearts represented its future. On February 24, SM Entertainment finally launched their first new girl group in 5 years, an 8-member powerhouse. Their single album, The Chase, shattered records, surpassing 400,000 first-week sales
Did remind
in
me of
multi-year charts
G-Friend.
to become the highest-selling girl group debut in history. Furthermore, Hearts 2 Hearts brought a viral cultural moment when member Carmen made history as the first Indonesian idol to win a trophy on a Korean music show just 15 days after debut.
That's
SM's
insane.
new era was ready to compete for the 5th-generation crown.
I mean, this is also
A rookie girl group from Hybe's B-Lift Lab that had debuted in March 2024 was still riding the wave of Magnetic, the first K-pop debut song ever to enter the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 91. By early 2025, Magnetic had surpassed 700 million streams on Spotify. On the boy group side, TWS, a rookie group from Pledis Entertainment that debuted in January, had achieved something even more shocking. Their debut song, Plot Twist, became the first boy group track to top Melon's annual chart since iKON's Love Scenario in 2018. In an industry increasingly dominated by girl groups on Korean charts, TWS proved boy groups could still win domestically. They brought a boyhood pop concept. Youthful, innocent, melodic. And that resonated with Korean listeners who had grown tired of aggressive, performance-heavy concepts. January and February were defined by this constant tension of the old world fracturing and a new unpredictable world taking its place. The industry couldn't wait for what came next, but it also couldn't control it. On the 15th of March 2025, New Jeans attempted a bold move, performing at Complex Con Hong Kong under the name NJZ, a transparent attempt to rebrand and distance themselves from Ador. The response was swift. Within hours, Ador filed an injunction. The Seoul
League of
to
Legends.
see just how far your budget can take you. Reykjavik? Spectacular. Then do what people do. Forget about Reykjavik for a while. 10 weirdest foods. Icelandic sheep's head jelly? Ugh. Oh yeah, Reykjavik. Back to kayak for a great deal.
I mean, that's Icelandic. Get me out of this ad.
Central District Court sided with the
League of
label,
Legends.
blocking the group from using any name variation outside their contract.
Jay-Z
In this
what?
industry, the company owns the identity. While the Bunnies organized massive protests outside Hybe headquarters, the legal precedent was set. New Jeans might have been winning the cultural war, but they were losing the legal one. While New Jeans fought for their freedom, other groups faced accountability of a different kind. In early April, Kiss of Life, a rookie girl group from S2 Entertainment, held a live stream where members dressed in hip-hop inspired attire and spoke with exaggerated Black American accents. International fans accused the group of cultural appropriation and mocking Black culture. Within days, Kiss of Life lost over 200,000 Instagram followers. Their scheduled appearance at KCON LA was canceled by organizers, companies issued vague apologies and moved on. But 2025 was different. Fans were less forgiving and consequences were real. Kiss of Life's career momentum stalled immediately. Amidst the controversy, the music kept moving. Jenny's Ruby arrived on March 7, proving her independent label.
Okay, one thing. That's actually, like, clearly they weren't appreciating it, doing it in a respectful way. They're kind of doing it mocking, so obviously, I think the criticism is deserved for that one.
Could hold its own on the global stage. The album peaked at number 47 on the Billboard Hot 100. J-Hope, freshly discharged from military service, dropped solo music like Mona Lisa that debuted in the top 10 on Korean charts, while Les Serafim's Crazy and NMIX's polarizing mix pop sound proved the fourth generation was more than capable of carrying the industry's weight. These comebacks were significant not for breaking records, but for proving the fourth generation could hold the industry without BTS. Les Serafim sold over 1 million albums in the first week. And NMIX's fan base grew despite lukewarm critical reception. Jenny, despite being independent from YG, still charted globally. The infrastructure was strong. The next generation was ready. BTS's absence had created space for others to rise.
Sometimes that's
were rising.
not a bad thing.
But as the music reached new heights in April, the industry was reminded of the heavy price of the spotlight. Only 5 weeks after going public, aespa's Karina and actor Lee Jae-wook announced their split.
Oh, I remember this. He also did sue everyone.
Sobering moment, a breakup fueled by protest trucks and forced apologies, showing that even in a globalized industry, an idol's right to a personal life was still a battlefield. April had marked the beginning of a subtle shift in how K-pop marketed itself internationally. Labels began emphasizing authenticity over perfection. Groups posted more unfiltered behind.
I mean, that's how G-Friend became successful, by authenticity and not trying to, you know, act.
Behind-the-scenes content. Idols spoke more openly about mental health, exhaustion, and the pressures of fame. On the 20th of June 2025, Netflix released an animated film that many expected to be a niche curiosity.
I expected it to be insulting to Korea.
A fictional K-pop group discovers they're actually demon hunters, using music to fight supernatural threats. Within 2 weeks, it became the most watched animated film in Netflix history, and by August, it had surpassed 500 million views to become the platform's biggest film of all time. The lead single Golden by Huntrix spent 8 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming the longest-running K-pop chart topper ever. K-pop Demon Hunters did something no real K-pop act had fully achieved. It made K-pop the subject of mainstream Western entertainment. It was the moment Hollywood stopped trying to break K-pop and started embracing it as a narrative universe.
It's also the longest running pack. It's the most perfect all kills.
The reunion of the decade became a global reality. 2NE1's 2025 Welcome Back Global Tour set the bar for nostalgia. From the moment the members stepped onto the stage, it was clear that time hadn't touched their fire. Drawing over 400,000 fans across Asia and North America, they performed their iconic hits in their rawest, most powerful forms, and reminded the world that while K-pop constantly evolves, the throne 2NE1 built remains permanent.
You mastered your mind.
Ad, you freaking stupid.
And all the while, you were on
Oh,
the
it's the
train
slow ad.
home. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Takeout is way too expensive, so we're making Marie Callender's chicken parmigiana bowl. 30 grams of protein, Italian-style breaded chicken, and it's made with scratch-made marinara over rigatoni pasta. Homemade flavor and a quick and convenient.
Okay.
The long-awaited discharge week finally arrived in June. RM and V were discharged on June 10, followed by Jimin and Jungkook on the 11th, and Suga on the 21st. Their first group live stream on July 1 broke every internal record for Weavers, and the subsequent 12% surge in HYBE's stock price was a literal BTS effect. They announced a spring 2026 album and a world tour. K-pop fans, who had been waiting for nearly 2 years, finally had a date. BTS was back. But the most profound moment of the summer was quiet. In May, news broke that Suga had donated 5 billion won to Severance Hospital, the largest single donation by a Korean entertainer to a medical institution. He had spent his alternative service volunteering with children with autism, developing a music therapy program called MADEIN, which used music therapy to help autistic children express themselves. The news only broke because hospital staff confirmed it to media. It shifted the industry's standard from performative PR to genuine, generational social impact. Suga showed what was possible when an artist used their wealth and influence for lasting change. These were months when K-pop stopped asking for permission and started taking space. K-pop Demon Hunters proved K-pop could dominate Hollywood on its own terms. BTS's reunion proved the biggest group in the world could disappear for 2 years and return even stronger. Suga's donation proved idols could create real, lasting social change beyond music. July 2025 belonged to the veterans. While younger groups fought for viral TikTok moments, the legends returned to remind the world who built the industry. G-Dragon, Big Bang's leader and one of K-pop's most influential figures, dominated the summer in a way no one
Wait, you didn't mention G-Friend for 20 January?
G-Dragon performed at the Apex Summit in Seoul.
What the
A
heck?
diplomatic event attended by world leaders and foreign dignitaries. He was the only K-pop artist invited to perform, and his set list included songs spanning his 19-year career. G-Dragon had been elevated from pop star to cultural ambassador, representing Korean power on a global diplomatic stage. 1 month later, in August, G-Dragon received the Okwan Order of Cultural Merit, one of South Korea's highest civilian honors. At 37, he was the youngest recipient in the award's history. The citation praised his contributions to spreading Korean culture globally and fostering national pride through music. K-pop idols had received awards before, but this was different. This was the government officially recognizing an idol as a cultural institution, not just an entertainer. But G-Dragon wasn't done. At the Melon Music Awards in November, he would sweep 7 awards, including 3 Daesung.
But I said I would be back. I will never let you go. With the petal of a flower day, you love me. Nope. Do you love me? Do you love me? Me too. 감사합니다. Yep.
Meanwhile, Twice made their own history. On July 25, the group became the first female K-pop act to headline Lollapalooza in Chicago, one of the largest music festivals in the United States. The performance drew over 100,000 attendees. Twice performed for 90 minutes, mixing their biggest hits with English language tracks tailored for the American audience. The set list included I Can't Stop Me, The Feels, and Moonlight Sunrise, songs specifically designed to appeal to Western listeners without abandoning their Korean identity. They followed this in August by becoming the first K-pop group to perform at the iconic Victoria's Secret fashion show in New York. Celebrating their 10th anniversary with all 9 original members, Twice shattered the 7-year curse and proved that girl groups could achieve the same permanent mainstream status as any Western pop icon. The summer also brought Blackpink's most surprising move. On July 11, the group released Jump, their first group comeback since all 4 members had left YG Entertainment.
And I mean, it was okay, I guess.
The result was a global hit. Jump debuted at number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100 and top charts in over 30 countries. The music video reached 100 million
That looks like
views in
Trod.
48 hours. Blackpink proved that idols could leave their agencies, build successful solo careers, and still reunite as a group on their own terms. They had renegotiated the power dynamic, owning their name, their image, and their future. This was the blueprint every idol group dreamed of. But even in a year of unprecedented agency and power, the shadow of the spotlight remained as intrusive as ever. By late July, the high of the summer's musical triumphs was punctured by a sudden, toxic wave of speculation involving aespa's Winter and BTS's Jungkook.
Oh, yeah.
What began as baseless social media deep dives into alleged matching tattoos and coincidental Instagram posts spiraled into a headline-dominating scandal.
That was
It
kind of
a
funny, though.
recurring, painful reminder of the industry's unresolved paradox that no matter how much global respect idols earned, they still fighting for the simple right to exist and to love outside of the public's constant, unforgiving gaze. On October 30, the ruling came down swiftly. After months of legal battles, public testimonies, and national debates about idol rights, the court sided definitively with Ador. New Jeans contracts were valid and binding through 2029. The court ruled that while the members had grievances, none rose to the level of contractual breach that would justify termination. The decision was a crushing blow to New Jeans and their supporters. For months, fans and industry observers had watched the case unfold, hoping it would set a new precedent for idol rights. It was a cold confirmation of the status quo. In South Korea, the legal system protects corporate investment over individual artist freedom. While the bunnies were devastated, the ruling ignited a national debate, forcing the National Assembly to fast-track discussions on limiting contract lengths and protecting idol mental health. New Jeans lost the case, but they sparked a legislative revolution. While New Jeans fought their legal battle, other controversies exposed deeper systemic issues. In early October, investigative journalists uncovered details about the W Korea Gala, an annual charity event ostensibly raising money for breast cancer research. Over 90 top K-pop stars attended the October event. Despite a guest list of K-pop's wealthiest elite, the charity event had only raised 1.1 billion won, around 800,000 USD overall for the past 20 years. With funds allegedly diverted to operational costs and idols contractually forced to attend, the gala became a symbol of K-pop's hollow philanthropy. The backlash was so severe that the 2026 event was canceled entirely, forcing labels to reckon with the fact that fans now demand genuine impact over staged PR.
I did say this when it happened. It was them more than the idols, and it's partly them, but more the organizers'
During the
fault.
2025 event, Jay Park performed Mame, a sexually suggestive song at a breast cancer awareness gala. Fans questioned how this qualified as charity work.
That's pretty bad.
October also brought geopolitical complications. aespa member Ning Ning, a Chinese national, faced a major controversy when a 2022 social media post resurfaced. In the post, Ning Ning had shared a photo of a mushroom cloud-shaped lamp, which resembled a nuclear explosion.
Okay, that's
between China and Japan.
okay. That is just
escalating political
Japanese
disputes.
people
On
being
December
overly
31,
emotional.
Ning Ning withdrew from the Kohaku performance, citing influenza. No one believed the official explanation. Meanwhile, Hybe faced international condemnation when the producer of Gnarly revealed that the Cat's Eye track featured explicit adult audio samples. In a social media video telling viewers they could take a guess where it was sampled, revealed that Hybe faced international condemnation when the producer of Gnarly revealed that the Cat's Eye track featured explicit adult audio samples. In a social media video telling viewers they could take a guess where it comes from, he explicitly stated he added the sound to the track because it was missing something. A disturbing oversight considering the group included a 17-year-old minor. It was a stark reminder that in the rush for viral, bold concepts, labels often gamble with the safety and reputations of their youngest stars.
Oh my gosh, bro. You know you didn't put that in there.
Wouldn't be a hit without it.
Despite the controversies, October brought artistic
That's pretty
triumphs.
bad.
NMIX, JYP's girl group known
That
for
was a
their
good song,
divisive
though.
mix pop sound. Songs that abruptly switch between genres mid-track had achieved something unprecedented. Their single Blue Valentine, released in September, jumped from triple digits to #1 on the Circle chart in a single week. The climb from triple digits to the top was one of the steepest in K-pop history. More significantly, Blue Valentine ended the reign of Golden, the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack hit that had dominated Korean charts for 100
Interesting.
consecutive days. They achieved a music show grand slam, winning on every major weekly program. Blue Valentine spent 4 weeks at #1 and became NMIX's first Circle digital chart topper. After years of being the underdogs, NMIX finally proved that their experimental sound could capture the mainstream, ending October on a rare note of pure musical triumph. The same month, Just Be member BAEIN made history at the group's Los Angeles concert. During the October 18 show, BAEIN came out as gay, becoming one of the few Korean male idols to publicly announce their sexuality while still active. He covered Lady Gaga's Born This Way during the performance. BAEIN's announcement was groundbreaking in an industry where LGBTQ+ idols rarely came out publicly due to conservative cultural attitudes in South Korea. Crucially, other idols followed. Cat's Eye's Lara came out as queer in an interview, and XG's Coconut spoke openly about gender identity. Younger idols with international careers felt empowered by global fandom acceptance to live visibly and authentically.
When your phone plan's as good as Visible, you've
I
got to
mean-
tell your people.
Hey, I just switched to Visible Unlimited Data.
Pushing the boundaries that their agencies still rigidly enforce back in South Korea. September also marked a major milestone for 17. All 13 members simultaneously occupied the top 13 spots on Billboard's K-pop Artist 100 chart, a historic achievement. The group, celebrating its 10th anniversary, performed a standalone concert on Seoul's Jamsu Bridge, a unique outdoor venue that drew over 200,000 fans. 17 received a presidential commendation at the Korea Popular Culture Arts Awards for their contributions to Korean culture. They were also appointed UNESCO Goodwill Ambassadors for Youth, donating $1 million to global youth education initiatives. Their decade-long success reinforced the lesson that creative control and an unbroken lineup were the ultimate recipes for longevity in this volatile industry. The industry was breaking down and evolving all at once, leaving one central question for the year ahead. Would K-pop's future be forged by internal growth or forced by external pressure? November 2025 began under a cloud of tragedy. On November 19, a devastating apartment fire in Hong Kong's Kowloon district claimed the lives of over 60 people, leaving the city in a week of deep mourning. Just 2 days later, the industry faced an impossible choice: whether to proceed with the Mama Awards at Hong Kong's Asia World Expo or delay it. The event went forward, but the usual spectacle was replaced by somber reflection. There was no red carpet. Instead, artists wore black memorial ribbons and delivered stripped-back performances. G-Dragon scrapped his high-energy choreography, choosing instead to perform a somber version of Untitled and even removing the word burn from his lyrics out of respect. Alongside 17's contribution, G-Dragon donated 1 million Hong Kong dollars to the victims, turning the night into a fundraiser that tested K-pop's commitment to community over commerce. Despite the heavy atmosphere, the awards solidified 2025's hierarchy. Stray Kids took home Album of the Year for 8, crowning a year where their Dominate World Tour grossed over $300 million. Yet, the night truly belonged to G-Dragon. Sweeping 4 trophies to bring his annual total to 11, G-Dragon's 2025 comeback had proven that second-generation idols were still the standard. The year's most painful saga reached its conclusion on December 29, when Ador officially terminated Danielle's contract effectively fracturing New Jeans. While the other 4 members returned to activities under the label, Danielle's exit and the ensuing legal threats served as a grim reminder of the power agencies still hold over idols. Huntrix, the fictional group from K-pop Demon Hunters, also received a Song of the Year nomination for Golden. The nomination sparked debates about whether fictional groups should be eligible for
Well,
real
they're not
awards,
fictional
but the
anymore
music
now, are
was
they?
real, performed by real vocalists, produced by real hitmakers. The fact that the characters didn't exist didn't change the song's impact. Cat's Eye, Hybe's global girl group, received a nomination for Best New Artist, marking a rare instance of a girl group breaking into that category.
Well,
Most
they're
Best
not
New
really
Artist
K-pop,
nominations
they're
often went to
international.
solo acts or rock bands. Cat's Eye's inclusion signaled that K-pop groups, even those not entirely Korean, were being taken seriously by the Recording Academy.
Well,
The
they
year
were
ended with
never
another
classified as
milestone.
K-pop.
Hybe's third boy group after BTS and TXT released their debut EP in November. The album sold 1.19 million copies in its first week, one of the best-selling rookie albums in K-pop history. Cordis won Rookies of the Year at the TikTok Music Awards. The group's success proved Hybe's infrastructure remained dominant, even as BTS prepared their 2026 comeback. The company had built a system that could produce hits regardless of which group carried the banner. But if Hybe showed structural dominance, SM's Hearts to Hearts showed the power of a viral phenomenon. By December, the rookies who had set records in February completed a historic royal coronation. They achieved an unprecedented sweep of 7 Best New Artist trophies across every major ceremony, including the Mama Awards and the Melon Music Awards. The emotional peak of the season came when member Carmen made history as the first Indonesian idol to win a major individual award in Korea, a moment that immediately went viral globally. Hearts to Hearts had become the new global standard for the 5th generation. These were the months of closure and confirmation. It ended with the results of an industry that had finally, undeniably, evolved. 2025. For 12 months, the industry tested boundaries it had avoided for decades. We finally got an answer to whether K-pop could dominate Hollywood. We saw whether the second generation could still compete. The answer is an undeniable yes. But 2025 also held up a mirror to what the industry still refuses to fix. The W Korea Gala revealed a hollow charity culture, while the Cat's Eye gnarly controversy and Ning Ning's geopolitical struggles prove that minors remain vulnerable and careers can still be derailed by borders. K-pop has grew massively in 2025, but it didn't necessarily grow carefully. New Jeans became the year's defining symbol. Their fractured ending was a warning that the system still
MADEIN,
protects companies
hello.
over artists. Yet the conversation they started has made the
All right.
unthinkable fight
New
a
Jeans
reality for
is
the next
more
generation.
famous.
BTS's absence left a vacuum that no one else could fill, but their return is awaited by the whole industry. 2025 will be remembered as the year K-pop stopped asking for permission. The era of waiting is over. The industry didn't become perfect, but it finally became loud enough to demand change. Although messy and imperfect, the era of demanding has begun. With the return of its greatest titans and a new generation that refuses to play by the old rules, the silence is officially over and the real roar is about to begin.
I mean, yeah, I mean. Okay. Wait, did I already put that in there? Yes, I did. All right. So in terms of the, I think that's just Japanese people. Obviously, probably wasn't intended. And overall, I think be more. I wouldn't say refusing asking, but be more, less performative and more like Friend and A Pink and a few others, where they're more more clear and more able to be seen, I guess. What am I thinking? I'm thinking of a word. Transparent is the word I was thinking. Okay. Anyway, that's the video. That's the stream for this week, and I'll have a video on Friday, hopefully. Like the stream if you're on the rewatch, maybe subscribe or comment your thoughts on the reactions and the comments I had made during the 3 videos. All will be linked in the description, and I will see you all later. Bye.
The unkillable Demon King! And in the mid lane, the unkillable Demon King! The first inductee into the Hall of Legends! And the greatest of all time!
Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And the quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
Are you
That is a really.
Can you get over the roof there?
Oh my!
Oh my! What a play! What a grab!
Another jump here on the high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stunned up. The EMP comes in, and ding! He rains down hell from above. Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one. Tuno down again. The Herald disaster generally for the Fusion, and Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet! He's killed 4 players now on his own. From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound is the bomb coming from China. Oh my God! He does it again.
Flutter now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot and the headshot and the headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. We're gonna try and circle around. I'm gonna call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy, and Sean Paul switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time.
Oh, the Gravy! The loss!
What in the Lord's name is that?
That's so good.
I'm the best person in the world.
Oh my word!
told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.